Why are you so tired when you haven't really done anything today? Think about it. You woke up, scrolled through your phone, went to work, came home. Nothing physically exhausting. Yet you're drained. Here's what's happening. While you were sitting at your desk, you were also fighting an argument in your head with someone who upset you last week. You were mentally editing your friend's Instagram caption because you wouldn't have posted that. You were worrying about your cousin's marriage. You were annoyed at the stranger who cut you off yesterday. That's the mental load. Carrying bags that don't belong to you. Look at the image on your screen. See those ghost-like figures attached by strings to that exhausted person? Those are the people whose problems you're carrying. Their opinions. Their choices. Their drama. They're not paying rent in your head. But you're letting them live there for free. In the next video, we'll look at who's sitting in the back seat of your life, trying to steer. But for now, just notice. How many bags are you carrying that aren't yours? Imagine you're driving a car. Your hands are on the wheel. You know where you're going. But the back seat is full of people. They're leaning forward, pointing in different directions. Turn left. No, right? You're going too fast. Why aren't you there yet? This isn't a car. This is your life. Those backseat drivers? They're your parents with their expectations. Your friends with their opinions. Society with its timeline of when you should be married, settled, successful. Even strangers on the internet with their judgments. You've been letting them steer. And you're exhausted because you're fighting them while also trying to drive. Here's what the Stoics understood 2,000 years ago. There's what you control, your choices, your reactions, your direction. And there's everything else, their opinions, their demands, their timelines. The backseat drivers can shout all they want. But you have your hands on the wheel. In the next video, we'll look at what happens when we lean out the window to shout back at them. But for now, just feel your hands on the wheel. They're there. You're driving. We've all been there. 3 people in a coffee shop, heads together, voices low. Did you hear what she did? I can't believe he said that. It feels like connection. It feels like bonding. But look closely at the image on your screen. Those 3 women, whispering. Their shadows on the wall behind them? Serpents. Because gossip has a cost we don't talk about. Every time we tear someone down to build connection with someone else, we poison ourselves. Research shows that gossiping actually increases anxiety and depression in the person doing the talking, not just the target, the speaker. When we say, I can't believe he did that, we're not analyzing him. We're avoiding something. What are you avoiding by focusing on their mistakes? What would you see if you stopped looking at their life and looked at your own? The ancient philosophers had a saying, when you point one finger at someone else, 3 fingers point back at you. In the next video, we'll meet someone who built their whole identity around helping others, and why that help was actually hurting everyone. Stay with me. I need to tell you something personal. For years, I was the person who jumped in to solve everyone's problems. A colleague struggling? I had a plan. A friend upset? I had solutions. I thought I was being helpful. I thought I was a good person. But look at the image. See that man leaning over his coworker's desk, pointing at the screen? See how the seated woman's body language is closed off? Arms crossed. Leaning away. Polite smile hiding discomfort. My efforts weren't just fruitless. They were unappreciated. Sometimes resented. Because by jumping in uninvited, I was saying, I don't trust you to handle your own life. I was making their problem about my need to fix it. Since I stopped fixing things nobody asked me to fix, something changed. My life got simpler. And ironically, now when people actually need help, I have the energy to truly show up. Because I'm not exhausted from meddling where I wasn't wanted. Next, we'll look at the hardest mirror of all. The one where we realize that focusing on others is really about avoiding ourselves. Look at this image. A woman standing before an ornate mirror, pointing with criticism. Judging someone. But the reflection shows something unexpected. She's not pointing at someone else. She's pointing at herself. This is uncomfortable, but it's the truth we all need to hear. Why are we so fascinated with other people's shortcomings? Why do we analyze their choices, their failures, their flaws? Because it's easier than looking at our own. As long as I'm focused on your mess, I don't have to clean up mine. As long as I'm dissecting your character, I don't have to confront my own contradictions. Other people's problems become the perfect distraction from the one person I'm actually afraid to examine. Me. The image on your screen is a gift. Every time you catch yourself judging someone, pause. The mirror is right there. What is this judgment telling you about yourself? What are you avoiding? In the next video, we'll visit 2 gardens. One belongs to you. One belongs to your neighbor. And you might be surprised which one is dying. Look at this image. 2 gardens separated by a fence. On one side, a man is exhausted, hands bleeding, desperately trying to pull weeds from his neighbor's yard. His own garden behind him? Dry, wilted, dead. Why would anyone do this? It makes no sense. And yet we do it every single day. We spend hours worrying about our friend's toxic relationship. We lose sleep over a family member's bad decision. We pour energy into fixing our coworker's reputation. We're in the neighbor's garden, pulling their weeds, while our own soul dries up from neglect. Your garden is the only one you can actually tend. Your health, your peace, your purpose, your relationships with people who actually want you in their life. You cannot make their soil fertile by making your own barren. Next, we'll look at what happens when we eavesdrop on the neighbor's conversation instead of listening to the birds in our own garden. You're on a train, or a bus, or in a coffee shop. And behind you, 2 people are talking. You're not trying to listen. But suddenly, you're hooked. You're leaning in mentally. Their drama becomes your drama. Their problem becomes your concern. Look at the image. That woman on the train, ear tilted back, eyes unfocused. Above her head, chaos. Other people's words, faces, arguments cluttering her mind. Now look at the window beside her. There's a sunset. A beautiful, golden, once-in-a-lifetime sunset painting the sky. She doesn't see it. She's too busy listening to strangers. This is us. We are so tuned into everyone else's frequency that we miss the beauty of our own moment. The child who wants to play. The book waiting to be read. The silence that heals. Every time you catch yourself eavesdropping on lives that aren't yours, physically turn your head toward your own view. Train your brain that your attention belongs to your life, not theirs. In the next video, we'll follow that blue glow that keeps us awake at night. The portal to everyone else's world that lives in our pocket. It's 2 a.m. You're in bed. The room is dark and peaceful. But your face is illuminated by that blue glow. The phone. And look at the shadows on the wall behind you. Faces. Eyes. Judging mouths. The opinions of strangers casting shadows across your bedroom. This is the 21st century condition. We carry the weight of 1,000 opinions into our sleep. Someone's highlight reel makes us feel inadequate. A stranger's comment keeps us angry. A former classmate's success becomes our failure. You're not scrolling. You're collecting. Collecting other people's lives while yours slips away in 2-minute increments. The person in this image looks anxious. Trapped. Unable to look away. Does that feel familiar? Here's what freedom looks like. Putting the phone down. Closing your eyes. Letting their lives exist without you watching. The world keeps spinning. Their drama continues. And for the first time all day, you breathe. Just you. In the dark. Finally home. Next, we'll see what happens when those chains finally break. And it's beautiful. Look at the left side of this image. A person weighed down by chains. But look closely at what those chains are made of. Words. Gossip. Control. Judgment. Unsolicited advice. Each link forged from a habit of carrying what wasn't theirs to carry. They're hunched. Gray. Exhausted. This is where most of us live. Now look at the right side. The same person. But the chains are broken on the ground. They're standing tall, arms open, golden light radiating from them, smiling peacefully. This isn't magic. This is what happens when you stop. When you finally understand that their life is their business. Your life is yours. The energy that returns to you is staggering. All that mental bandwidth you were using to carry the world? It's suddenly available. For your passions, your people, your peace. You're not drained anymore because you stopped bleeding energy into everyone else's drama. You dropped the bags. And now you can run. One video left. The destination we've been driving toward this whole time. The bus stop where you finally take the wheel. Here we are. The final image. A man sitting in the driver's seat of a bus at dawn. The bus is empty. The windshield shows a sunrise over a quiet street. His hands rest lightly on the wheel. Calm. Present. At peace. In the side mirror, you can see the empty seats behind him. A reminder. Passengers come. Passengers go. Some ride with you for years. Some for one stop. Some get off angry. Some leave without saying goodbye. But through it all, one thing remains true. You are the driver. Always. The wheel has always been in your hands. You just forgot. You were too busy arguing with the back seat. Too distracted by the passengers. Too worried about who got on and who got off. But the bus never stopped moving. Because you never stopped driving. Even when you forgot, your hands were still there. This is the art of minding your own business. Not building walls. Not being cold. Just keeping your hands on the wheel that was always yours. Their path is theirs. Your path is yours. You can wave to them from the road. You can pull over if they truly need help. But you cannot drive two buses. So here's your sunrise. Here's your empty bus. Here's your fresh start. If this series resonated with you, if it made you think differently even for a moment, then subscribe to this channel. Not because I need the numbers, but because you need the reminder. We are in this together. We are building a community of people who control their minds, rather than being controlled by the world. The bus is yours. Always has been. Drive well.